and you thought vinyl left. You're listening to the Vinyl Community Podcasts. Everything vinyl.
Welcome to Surface Noise, the A-side.
All right. Well, this is Surface Noise. I appreciate everyone filling the room. We got some familiar faces on the dais, in the chat. Minimal nonsense. I already see some coming in, but I appreciate everyone helping weed the field, so to speak. Concert Buddie at the ones and twos, doing the A-side, B-side thing. Hopefully, bringing the Surface Noise presentation weekly. So this is my turn at the controls. Obviously, Jason from Spins Vinyl did a really nice job. Some people reached out to me afterwards and said he did a nice job. So appreciate it. He'll be back next week, and we're just going to do the every other week thing. So you're stuck with me this week. I know that all my haters are drinking a tall glass of Clorox. I hope it tastes good going down because I'm here, I'm there, and I'm everywhere. So sip, bottoms up. Joining me, a couple familiar faces and an almost familiar face. We'll get to it. But first, Mr. Punctual, the guy who's here almost as early as I am. It's Arnaldo, the channel you don't know, and why wouldn't you know? It's on you. Fidelius_frequency. Arnaldo, what's the good word, sir?
Good word was I was actually late today.
Late by your standards.
Late by my standards, and lo and behold, I'm the only guy there, along with Concert Buddie. So thanks for having me again, and thank you, John and Jason, for making me still the first one to show up backstage.
We do what we can for you.
Good stuff. And then another familiar face, probably one of the sexiest walls of records out there. I'm not going to say vinyl community. It's a very polarizing word right now. Just out there. And that is Jason Roxas. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Concert Buddie. Thanks for, getting me on. I tried to get all the Sabbath Rhino reissues on the back, but they were unfortunately back order, or the covers were too creased to put up in the back. So,
Is it normal to manufacturer with dings? I think that's going to be the next story. That's the way we got them.
Right. Just accept it, right, and then move on, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that in the coming minutes. So stay tuned, all you fly boys and fly girls. And then, as I was telling them before we started, like SNL has that 5 Timers Club, of hosts who have been on the show 5. They give them a jacket. This is a real deal. They give them a jacket. It's like Tom Hank, because Tom Hanks is kind of a myth. Hanks is plural. Hank is Tom Hank. And then you've got like Martin Short and some of these other dignitaries. So in a similar vein, he's almost there. We'll call it 5 times, and you'll probably get there first. This is the channel Music Talk with John. John is with us. John, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Always. And John, we want to promote your other. You call it in your byline there, aka Mr. Walk and Talk. Why is that? Inform our viewers.
Because I like to walk and talk at night with a selfie stick. It's a problem that I have, and I get accosted, and things happen. And it's not nice, but yeah, that's what I do. That channel's kind of on a little hiatus. I've kind of calmed that one down, but I still walk around with a selfie stick.
Fair enough.
I don't know if you saw the video. Some kid on a bike flew by and flicked me off. It was awesome. And I didn't see it until I was editing. I'm like, I knew who the kid is. I'm like, waiting.
Oh.
So.
That reminds me of, have you guys, this is going to be nerd talk. Hulk Hogan, the great actor, he made a fine movie called, I believe it was Suburban Commando. It was either Suburban Commando or Mr. Nanny, one of those 2 fine motion pictures. And there's a scene where he's on the motorcycle. It's like a side scene, like they're filming him sideways. And there's literally a guy who's in the background who has his dog at like the opening of like a lake or like a pond. And he literally throws his dog into the body of water. It's on YouTube. Find it. It's one of those like they didn't catch it in post-production kind of things. It's worth the squeeze. Trust me.
Check that out. That's pretty funny. It's sometimes it happen around you that you, especially during a live one. I try to stay away from the live because you don't want some things getting caught. But
that's a good move, Mr. Nanny. Yes, Kendall is coming in clutch. It's Mr. Nanny. See, I knew it was one of those fine motion pictures. Mr. Nanny is one. Hang on, there he is. Boom.
They're actually in the film. Is that?
Yeah, it made the final cut. It did. It was one of those things. Again, you probably had so much time to film the immortal Hulk Hogan on a big chopper, a big Harley, and there he is just side by side, and then literally here's this guy tossing his dog into this lake. Like, Google it. Not making it up.
Was he wearing it?
Are you talking about Rhino customer service? I'm confused here.
I was trying. Yes, Jason's reading the room. He's making the analogy.
Right.
I'm throwing your dog in a lake to Rhino customers.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, I've jibber jabbered enough. Let's get into the topics at hand. Let's talk about the first topic for this portion of the presentation is an interesting one. Let me get Mr. Nanny off the screen. Kendall, thank you for coming in clutch on that one. His channel is Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem, by the way. Check it out. All right, first topic. Easiest $20 or less record you'd recommend. And I mean this, and this is the origin of this is these price increases suck. I think we can all agree, especially on new vinyl. But you can still find some diamonds in the rough if you know where to go and that sort of thing. So even it could be something, I'll even open it up in case this helps. Maybe something that's always in the bins is a used variety, right? That's always $20 easy breezy, cover girl. So Arnaldo, do you have a record out there that you can let our fine viewership in on a secret of you should go get it and it's $20-ish?
Well, I think this one actually, let me pull it out here. I've seen for less than $20. And if you don't have this, I think everybody should have this. Human League's Dare. This is a blueprint of synth pop, electronic music, 80s. I mean, everybody knows
Sure.
Don't You Want Me, right?
Yes.
Probably some people got sick of it. But probably there's better songs on this album than Don't You Want Me. Don't You Want Me was like the catchiest song off here, the hit single. But Love Action, one of my favorite songs on here. And then there's darker songs as well. So it's not all chipper dance pop on here. This is where they broke the mold. The Human League used to be a lot less commercial, more kind of like, let's just say a step above Kraftwerk in terms of poppiness for the first two albums. Then two members left, and Phil Oakey was left with the other guy. And he decided that he wanted to bring the group in a different direction, hired the two girls that sang backup, and a new Human League was born. And Dare is considered by some their masterpiece or their best album. I actually really loved the album that came after this, which was Hysteria. But yeah, this, less than $20 if you don't have it.
I like it. And are you just flexing that's a gold stamp promo? Or are you just letting us know how you get down?
Well, here's a conundrum. So you see the promo stamp here.
Yes.
What do you see here?
CRC.
So how does that make sense? Can anyone shed light on this? Is this a promo of a Columbia House? Where is it? Right here, Columbia House.
Right there. Bam.
Copy, or I don't know. Maybe it can't be I don't know. Someone can answer this question. Did Columbia House have promo records?
Yes, let us know. We need smarter people than myself on that one. I'm off the shift at Rhino, so I'm sorry. We had another long day of no ships and no label printing. So I'm just glad to be off the clock because labor laws in California are the pits. So took off my safety vest. I'm ready to play. And my mouse is not working. That's a delight. All right. Thank you, Arnaldo. Jason Roxas, what is your?
Well, it's curious. Do all three of you have that record?
Yes.
I believe I have a copy in the deep annals of my collection.
I don't, but I do like that.
Take a drink, John. You gotta take a drink if you don't have the record.
Got to be a big mug.
Bottoms up. No Clorox. You're in the non-Clorox crew. That's just for the haters. All right, Jason Roxas, do you have a record $20-ish or less that you could recommend to the audience that they're doing themselves a disservice?
I had to get it. It was like over there.
All right, here we go.
So I'm not sure if I'm prepared. But Came out in 1983, but you can get the reissue from Jackpot Records. This is the Wipers Over the Edge. Let me see if I can show it. So I would say this is like punk rock. I don't know, maybe more post-punk in a way. This is basically Greg Sage. I think this, they're from Portland, Oregon. Let me know if I'm wrong about this, but this is that reissue that came out, I would say, 2022. Again, you can get this for about $20 or even less. And I believe it's 2 LPs. One of them is the full length, and then the other one is side 3 with the alternate tracks. But again, if you really like post-punk or punk music, this is one of the best. I believe the Wipers, this is one of Kurt Cobain's favorite bands.
Oh, it's a good endorsement. All right.
Writing it down.
Yeah, at least give it a spin, stream it.
Sample it through streaming. Yeah, John, I don't want to put you in financial arrears after this show. I know
Thank you.
It happens sometimes because we are influencers, like it or not.
Can you, Concert Buddy, can you highlight Leland's comment?
Hang on. So this one here?
Oh, jeez. No.
Hang on. This one here?
No. The latest one.
Leland's on fire. Hang on a second. New comments.
He's trying to... there we go.
So yeah, Leland says, is Jason saying he likes a Kevin Gray reissue?
That is true. This is the Kevin Gray reissue.
Wow.
But I mean, pretty good for like $20. I bought this used for $20. So it's cool.
Wow.
But I'm pretty sure you can get it new for less.
Oh my God, new for less?
Unbelievable. I think we just made history. No, listen, jokes aside, there's some Kevin Gray stuff we've talked about. You like the Meters reissues that he did also for Jackpot, right? I mean, there are things like...
Yeah, they're okay. I didn't need them, so I flipped it. So.
Oh, no, we just got to flush that down to John. I can't believe it. Terrible. What is happening? Listen, anyway. All right, well, Leland, way to point that out. He does say there is hope for Jason.
I know. Thoughts and prayers my way. VC thoughts and prayers, please.
T's and P's. T's and P's. Oh, that's funny. All right, John.
Yeah.
To the mic. Do you have a recommendation of a record for about $20? It can be used. I mean, something you see on the reg. Because I know your local stores, Kingfish Records, shout out, and you do a lot of content with them about weekly releases, a little behind the scenes stuff. They probably did they give you a key to the employee restroom at this point, or what's the deal?
I do. Yeah, I have a key. Well, I know where the key is held. It's kind of like the Mayberry.
Like on a hook with a big stick.
Back office. You just grab the hook and
Excellent. All right. So
not to flush because it's run by men. If you flush, you're breaking the cardinal rule.
Uh-oh. Yikes.
You do not flush. So, yeah. Well, I couldn't decide. I had 3, but I'm going to...
Hey, listen. We've got the time if you've got the dime, sir.
Well, the third one's really the important one, but I don't know how this got in my collection. I had to show off.
Marks. Oh, it's like Surrender or something? What's that one?
This was the first one. No, was it?
Oh, self-titled.
Should have known better. I mean, come on.
Should have known better. Oh, man.
I'm like, I can do better than this. So I was like, okay, I can do better.
Fair enough.
So, and what's an appearance with me without an appearance of him?
Who is that for our visually impaired folks?
This would be Mr. William Joel. Right.
William Joel. All right, new artist. Okay, yeah.
Glass Houses, great album. Look at this, 1898, and now they're saying it's sealed first pressing. Do I believe that? How do you know? How do they know?
If there's a barcode on the back.
There's a barcode, but it was 1980, so there could have been a barcode. So I don't know.
No. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Like Elvis Costello record was the first ever to have the barcode in like 78, but they were kind of intermittent about like by 1980.
Yeah, as far as I know, these are legit with a barcode. So I don't know if I have a first pressing, but whatever. But no, the one I really want to show, because he doesn't get enough love, is Ray Charles. This album, Yes Indeed. You can get it. Even this one, it was a reissue, and I got it for like $15 or something like that. He just doesn't get enough love in the vinyl community.
So is that something that has like the big hits like Georgia on My Mind and that stuff, or what?
Well, this is much earlier. This is What Would I Do Without You? It's All Right. You might know that one. Sure. I Want to Know. The song Yes Indeed, the title track, is amazing. It's just Ray Charles at his best. He does like even Swanee River Rock, that song, which is not cool. He made it cool. He made it cool. I Want a Little Girls on Here is another one that's big. So that's a good one. You can find it under $20, and I definitely recommend that. Any of his early stuff. This is probably like around his second or third album, I think. So yeah, Ray Charles.
Look at that. You brought 3 to the table, John. I like it. This is why 3 for the 3 times you've been on this presentation. I like the synergy.
Didn't even think about that.
Come on, dude. Aces.
You didn't think I was going to top the Richard Marx, did you? You just didn't.
No. Listen, I'm still stunned. I'm still stunned that you brought Richard Marx back into the lexicon.
Yep.
Well, not lexicon, but the orbit of vinyl community.
A little Sticky Fingers vibe there a little bit. Maybe. Could be something happening there.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Richard, I'm still taking a deep breath on that one. All right. Well, it only makes sense if I showed something. And this is actually something back in print. And I checked before the show. It is still available on the small. If you guys believe in supporting small local business, there's a small shop up in Seattle, Washington way called Amazon. I don't know if you've heard of this it's a struggling business, struggling enterprise, but they do sell records, and they sell, let me make myself big because that's the way to do it. So if you're a Tom Petty fan, this was his first band. I know John is. John's going to like this. So this is Mudcrutch.
Yep.
And this originally was, I think they put this out 2008. It's kind of like a rewind situation. Like they've been obviously famous, and they came back and actually revisited some of their original material. And I think they reissued this maybe 2017. Correct me on the dates if anybody knows. But this is the later reissue of the 2008. But it's a Bellman cut, and it sounds marvelous. Of course, it's on. I'm always terrible. Guys, is it reprise? I always mispronounce it. Reprise, right? Reprise. Thank you. So yeah, double disc. And if you look right now, Mudcrutch, it's back, like I said, back in print. And if you support this business, it's Amazon.com. $22.98 right now. So I did check. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I get no kickbacks. I'm not an affiliate of that small company. But I do know that as I've seen it kind of getting around the local shops now being back in stock, MSRP is about $40. So I'm all about supporting local. But when you're talking about almost 50% off, is a good one. So, yep. Oh, do you have the 2008, John? Is that what that is?
I don't know what I have.
I think the 2008 came with like a 7-inch too. I think that's one of the.
This did not that I know.
Okay. But it's good, right? You can attest that this is a good.
Oh, I love this album. It's very good. Very good.
Very good. Yeah, that's actually kind of the inspiration for this topic was because I talked to a friend of mine who owns a shop, and I'm like, hey, is Mudcrutch, is that coming back in stock, or is that just like a dead stock kind of thing? The label is moving on to work through Amazon, and none of his distributors had any information about it. So I don't know the full background, but it is on Amazon for less than $23. So that's why I use 20-ish.
There's a 2 also.
Oh yeah, they just call it 2, right? It's Mudcrutch 2. Yeah. That one's also, I think it's on, again, small company, is on an Amazon website for like 25 ballpark.
Yeah, but if you're a Petty fan, definitely I would pick it up.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. So check it out. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, see? So people, I know people have been kind of looking for this, and it was kind of, again, underreported. But when I was in Seattle recently, I did see a couple shops, did have it for, $44, $90, whatever. It's wild.
Yeah.
So, all right. Great first topic, guys. I think we're really standing on our laurels. Let's move on to topic number 2. And this one, Mr. Rojas brought to the table. So I know I'm going to lead off with him because he's got to be hot. He's got to be hot to try. We're going to have to pot him down. We might need you to oven mitt. I have to send you the oven mitt virtually, Jason, if you're ready to just rock and roll on this one. Tell us about, do you want to start with do the best, one round of best, and then one round of worst, or you just want to do both?
No, we'll do a round. So which one, best or worst? Worst.
Let's do best. Let's be positive because we can come with the flamethrower at any time, right? We need to wet the whistle of our wonderful viewers. So let's do best reissue release you've bought lately. Jason has vanished, but I'm going to put him in the big seat. Here we go.
So, oh my gosh, not ready.
He's got so many. There's so many great reissues that literally he's just going to blind pick. What he's doing right now, he's off screen and he's ready. He's just going to pick one.
Take the name off. I bought this recently. Maybe you can get it cheaper, but it's not going for cheaper. But the reissue of this thing that came out on Record Store Day, Elton John, 17/11/70. Again, this is his live album.
Yeah. Macho Man likes that one.
Right. The cool thing about it is they actually expanded the reissue to 2 LPs. So you get, I believe, most of the show. Let me see if I can get it on there.
Nice.
Which is great. But I think there's people online are selling this for over 100, which not cool. But I found it at End of an Ear for, if we can get it right,
$45.
Yep.
I like it.
I love this record, actually. I mean, this is one of his better records. Here is the original UK of it.
Oh, nice.
I know, I'm just playing here. But again, if you can get this for cheap, like not the $100, again, this is a good reissue. Well worth your money. And and if stream it if you can, you know.
Yeah. You know. Remind me, and maybe it's not on that one, but I know because he was going through his catalog and doing like the Record Store Day reissues on different titles, like you talked about. This one, I think, started it.
Yeah.
Ludwig's there. He does have somebody of prominence involved in these, right? Is it an RL? I forget. It's a name guy. I forget.
No, I think it's just Bellman.
It's just Bellman. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. I like it. Yeah. So Nick Fantasy says I've got a first German press on Hansa of that Elton record. Nice.
Cool. Hansa means listen in German.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but thank you. It's cool. I like it. All right, so that's the best reissue you've picked up lately.
Yes.
All right, I like
totally
it.
Worth it.
All right, perfect. I like it. It's a good tone. It's a good way to start it off. John of Music Talk with John fame. Show us, hit us with the goodness, the sweet, sweet goodness.
This is an artist I don't normally listen to, but I really like this album. And it's this Dave Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Some Devil. Yes.
I was waiting, and I didn't know if this is really a reissue because it's, I think, the first time on vinyl. So,
first time on vinyl. Yes.
But it's sort of a reissue. Maybe we'll call it that. But I was really happy with the quality of this. Not a pop, nothing. It was weird, though. The first time I listened to it, I wonder if you guys have ever had this issue. So I got to the last song on side A, which is Some Devil, nice quiet song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right at the very end, just before it's going to end, it starts kind of skipping.
Oh no! And
all of a sudden, you're like, "What the hell?" And you hear pop skips and all this. It's not sliding, and I'm looking at my needle. My record looks flat, but my needle's going like this, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?" Because usually you're going to expect a record to go with it. So I didn't know what to do. I got it to the record store. I said, "Hey, I got a problem." Put it on their record player. It played all the way through. Not a problem. Not an issue. And then we kind of sonic cleaned it over there. I brought it home, and it plays fine now. So I don't know if there was just residue or something sitting in there inside the grooves causing the needle to do that and causing it to skip. So it's the strangest thing. But fortunately, it's all ironed out now, and the album sounds really good. And you know, Dave Matthews, he gets on my nerves just a little bit with his voice and his kind of wankiness. But this album, I think he's going through divorce, so it's kind of a darker album, a little bit deeper. And you know, Gravedigger is a crazy great song.
Yeah. Even the title track, Some Devil, is a good one.
Yeah, Gray Blue Eyes. I mean, it gave it like a different atmosphere. He was working with a different band. So, yep, this one's good. I recommend it. It's on just a regular black vinyl. I saw somebody review the blue vinyl and it had a little bit of noise, but this one played nice. So
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting you showed that because I think after one of our shows recently, like, believe it or not, when we get done filming, we actually still talk records offline. And I actually had that record because I got it straight from the DMB website, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes in this really cool kind of, call it storm splatter. It what really took me is like if you hold it up to certain light, there's like reflective properties in it that make it kind of glisten. Remember that, Arnaldo, when I was showing you? Arnaldo was captivated. He's like, must come to Butthead.
Although I'm not a Dave Matthews fan.
Yeah, I'm not. But something about this album, I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, but
I kind of identified with what you were saying was annoying you, John, like the wimpiness of his voice is really what kind of turns me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, how can you talk about a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer like that? Because believe it or not, they're a first ballot Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I think that's actually another show topic for another day. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, glam or sham, because there's some people that get in there. I think it's like anything else. It's like everybody gets in eventually, so I don't know what it takes. But anyway.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
I enjoyed y'all. All right, Arnaldo, now that you've insulted John and me, what
well, he's the one who started. He started insulting,
Totally messing around. Hang on. We've got some other DMB fans. We got Ariel Estevez. Been to 40 DMB shows. They do have a traveling following. I've been to a couple shows. And it's pretty wild. So I give them credit for having that following. They haven't made any new music that's appealed to me in quite some time. But
all I could say is thank God they're not releasing anything on Record Store Day anymore, because those guys for a couple of years were always the first in line.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, Arnaldo.
All right,
what do you think of that?
I'm going to be very boring and predictable. But everybody has been talking. I don't know how many videos have we seen on, and how many forums have we read about the Rhino Black Sabbath, right? But no one's giving any love to the Devo reissue that came out. And I think this sounds really, really good. Although I had a problem with my copy. There's some non-fill on on the first track.
So is this the Rhino? Is that what you're holding up?
This is the Rhino high fidelity freedom of choice.
Got it.
And it has Whip It on it.
Okay.
So
did you say non-fill? What is non-fill?
It's that crackling noise, almost like
staticky kind of.
Yes, and it lasts only usually for like one round, not even one round.
Okay.
Like a partial revolution, yeah.
Yeah, they call it also, some people call it like the zipper effect, or the string of pearls, something like that. And
this is getting real kinky. We got to watch this. There's children watch the show.
And it happens a couple times on the first track. And then I was actually talking shop, of course, because I was at work talking with one of the production guys about this non-fill that happens on several records. And he explained to me that basically it's when, because you put the puck in the middle, right? And then the two plates from the top and the bottom, they kind of squeeze it, and the puck flattens out because I think it's heated, and it expands, kind of like when you make a waffle, right?
Sure.
And when you have the waffle iron, that it doesn't fill all of the holes sometimes because you don't put enough batter. That's exactly what happens, is that it's little particles that are empty that haven't been filled fully. With the vinyl hasn't filled fully the plate, the stamper, and that's why you get the non-fill.
Yeah, and
he explained to me, well, I knew that, but he explained to me when you get it, it's always on the first track or maybe the second track of each side, because that's the farthest that the vinyl compound has to travel, right? So if it's not going to fill an area, it's probably more likely not going to fill one of the outer grooves, right? Because it travels from the inside to the outside. So if you get non-fill, it's probably going to be, it's probably never going to be on the last couple of songs of the side. So emailed customer service. I had, how Chance, you have the buddy at Vinyl Me Please, Bud. So I have a buddy now at Rhino who is still trying to solve the back order on the Black Sabbath. And now I'm just replying to that chain, right? And I told him, hey, by the way, the Devo also has a problem. And I actually just got a response from him. He says, okay, cool, I'll put it in order to have them ship you another one. Nothing wrong with the mastering and the sound of it. It sounds fantastic, and that's why I really like it, and I recommend it. And, all the bells and whistles of, the heavy cardstock, the really nicely printed jacket. So, that's my pick. It's kind of boring, kind of predictable, but it literally is one of the latest reissues that I got that I really like.
Fair enough. I like it. Well, now I got to come correct because Jason from the channel, and you should really check out his channel, Drop the Needle Records. I believe he's a big Dave Matthews fan, and I got a fact wrong. And the last thing I want to do is give out fake news. This will probably make a lot of people happy. Dave Matthews Band was not a first ballot Hall of Fame recipient. So,
Chance, you wouldn't be the first stream that disseminates fake news in the vinyl community. So,
no, breaking
our
news.
fathers and mothers, we're not going there. Yeah, but Jason, basically, I was using it. That's more of an excuse to give Jason a shout out. Check out his channel, Drop the Needle Records. Good guy, likes 90s and kind of like my kind of wheelhouse of music. So, Jason, thanks for coming correct. Put me in my place, and I'm going to have to think about what I've done in this tragic error. So I apologize. Thank you. All right. Well, best reissue that I've bought.
Here comes a Macho Man record.
It is not this album.
Oh no!
It is not this album by. I don't know if you're familiar with this band. It's called Psychedelic Horseshit. I don't know if you're familiar. Arnaldo, have you heard of this band? It's a emerging band.
Award winning
band. Are you familiar with that band, Arnaldo?
yeah, but you know what? It's that cover, man. That's pretty beat up with all that ringwear on it.
I mean, this is kind of, I mean, yeah, this is not for
How long has it been sitting in a bid? Tucked against the last record on the bid that it got all that ringwear.
I tried to clean it up as best I could. I got some of that green clean, and I ran it through the degritter. I mean, we tried to like mouth to mouth it. We really tried to bring this guy back alive, but it was tough.
It's like pre-washed jeans. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, no, actually, so joke of jokes. That's Jason's band, and I found it on the site, and I was happy to add to the collection at a very, very reasonable price. But no, what I would say, and hopefully I'm not steal anyone's thunder on something else later, but to me, the best reissue I've gotten, I'm going to shout out to Arnaldo. Bud is my friend at Acoustic Sounds. He's going to be actually, when my wife and I renew our vows one day, Bud's going to be in the wedding party. We talked that much. But no, the reissue of Core as part of the Atlantic 75 series is phenom.com. What I mean by that is they've put this out. They've tried to put this out on vinyl several times. I think 2013 was a Record Store Day version that was like yellow, and they've done like an anniversary edition, but it always seems to be on like one disc, and it always seems to be just no muscle. So this was done exceptional. I think this is a Ryan Smith. I think he dropped the K because he's maturing. He's kind of like Michael Bolton didn't want to be called Mike Bolton anymore. Same kind of principle. So Ryan Smith crushed it, and I was very, very happy because this is one of the things that I was most interested in that whole Atlantic 75, the Yes albums and all the what I'll call the older generational stuff that really didn't appeal to me. But when I saw some of these 90 titles, I was curious what they could do with it, and to me, this one is probably my favorite reissue of the year so far, like hands down. It's aces. So I know Arnaldo, you have one, right?
Yes, I do.
And I know Jason does because Jason and I have talked about it.
But I see, did you go ahead and laminate that yourself? It's very nice and glossy.
Listen, this is a sore spot because this is where I had to go back to my friend Bud because this was billed as laminate jacket and all this kind of stuff, and it was a matte finish. And I found out the dirty little secret that the rest of the series is going to be matte finish. So those early Atlantic 75s that came in that nice laminate, thick, muscled jacket, you're getting a matte finish from now on. And they didn't really elaborate on why. I'm assuming it's cost
cheaper.
Component.
It's cheaper.
Hey, listen, I don't want to start any kind of rumors because rumors are like tumors; they're hard to get rid of. But I have a feeling, and of course, the one I was most excited about that really would look great with that pop, that laminate pop on that kind of artwork. Man, yeah, Joey Tavares, Chef's Kiss for that STP. I'm all about giving flowers when you earn your flowers. You get your FTDs when it's time for your FTDs. But man, it's pretty good. Now, Bellman, I think, did do that. I think up until this, for me, honestly, that probably, it was like the thicker as the anniversary edition. That was probably my favorite version up to that point of this release. But hey, Chad and the gang, more 90s, please.
Do you have the original 90s of that?
So I don't believe, unless it was a European release, I don't have it. My understanding, and I'd have to double check, correct me in the comments, was that 2013 Record Store Day was the first time on
vinyl. Okay,
I'm pretty positive because I have every vinyl version of it. Even the Walmart reissue that came out, it had the like red splatter. It looked cool, but didn't sound cool, kind of deal. But yeah, this is. I don't want to use. I'm going to borrow Patrick's line. I don't like to use definitive, but I don't see how they can top that, to be honest with you. So, Jason, do you concur? Because I know we've talked about the STP. How did you feel it?
You know, I'm not a fan of that first album, but the reissue sounds great, immaculate. You know, like it really comes up with the sign, especially like side C and D, like that. Wow.
Yeah, Cracker Man. Yes, on it. Big fan. All right. So, well, hang on. So, Michael Tedder, I like what you're doing, but we're going to get to this in a second. So, Michael Tedder says, I received my fraction shipping notice from Riding Easy tonight. Excited for that one. Stay tuned. Hold on to your shorts. We're going to talk about reissue labels in a second. So, I know that's going to get a lot of people stiff in the pant. Sit down. We're going to come to it. We got to go one more round because we're going to be negative Nancy's. We're going to talk about the worst reissue that we've purchased lately. And this one could be very controversial. So, if you're going to clip off anything from this video, as certain people are prone to do, this is it. Because this is the truth. This is the truth, and this is going to be controversial, and this is where we make our money. So get ready. So, Jason, I see you nodding already. Are you ready? Are you ready to unleash what is – and I think we may share the same one. I'd be curious. What is the worst reissue you've purchased lately?
So my upcoming video will probably come out tomorrow, and I had to, shout out to Chris Vinyl Piper for lending me his copies of this album. But I have to say, this is one of the worst reissues I've ever heard.
Oh, wow. And what are you holding? I can't believe this. What is that album?
I'm holding the Black Sabbath self-titled on the Rhino Hi-Fi series, okay?
Wow.
Did not meet my expectations. And if you disagree with me, watch my video coming up soon. And we'll actually listen to 2 of the songs on this compared to the US white label promo, the UK Vertigo, and a bonus round of the German Vertigo versus this. So there you go. Like
you
go hard
are
on this.
disgusting.
Governor, Governor, I don't know what to say to that. I think a lot of people are gonna agree with you. That is a hot take right there.
Yep. So if you disagree, find out for yourself, because then you'll be able to listen to all these Sabbath until you're sick of Sabbath, like me. I'm sick
like you.
And really, I don't want to listen to this record. See you later.
Jason, we got a comment from Tom, High Rant District. Says someone better show the Rhino Hi-Fi television album. I thought for sure that probably would have been in your short list. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, Tom, but I mean, come on. Concert Buddie said go controversial, and I just did.
Wow. Well, hang on a second. Here it comes. It's like the faucet. Here comes the controversy. Tim, University of Vinyl, a trusted voice in the vinyl community, says, I have listed mine on Discogs. Oh, shit.
Wow.
I mean, this is where Tim is not playing, and no one's playing on this Rhino Hi-Fi stuff.
I should have saved Jason for last, man. Mine's lame compared to that.
Well, John, if you show the Richard Marx again, I think we'll be okay. Right?
Okay, all right. But it's not a reissue.
No one knows that. Just show it again.
Yeah, we got some bidding going on. Leland is offering $40 American greenbacks.
Oh my gosh.
So Jason, to follow up, because I am a timid interviewer, but I do think I come correct once in a while. This young fellow, Michael Esposito, I think he's Italian, recently said that this is the best he's ever heard it. How do you respond to that? Because that's high stakes. It's high praise for something that is getting mixed results in areas I'm traveling.
I guess I better be careful here, Chance. If you would want to hype this up so the value goes up, because now it's sold out. I mean,
Yes.
I could pull that trick, that some other people are doing, wink, wink, and sell this for 150. I guess that is the going rate.
It is a going rate, yes, sir.
So, I mean, that's the thing. Whether you trust VC personalities or not, I'd rather trust my own ears. And again, shout out to Vinyl Piper for lending me those copies. And I compared them. Again, I compare it, side by side, not listening to one on the other. We do an A/B testing on my whole DJ system. Let's see if I can. No, I can't. I can't share my screen.
Jason, now I will, while you're trying to show that to the masses, Jason, I did go over his house when we were down in Austin, and he does have I give him credit. The way he A/Bs this stuff is actually very smart. And he has like a 5-second delay between the tables and kind of goes to the same part of each song. So it is like literally A to B. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. You want to explain kind of how you do it, Jason?
Yeah. So I'll have one record playing here, and it's 5 seconds ahead of this record that's going to be here on the other turntable. And so I don't trust my memory. I'm not, that kind of guy, making blanket statements. Again, you compare what you just heard, and then you'll compare it, 5 seconds later, So sure. I know it's a little bit anal and crazy, but, this is where it led to, So again, my video will show, do these VC personalities actually have their hearing, or they've lost their hearing, or they're trying to, upsell this record, I mean, it's not like it's going to show up on his whatnot for 150 or 200. That's a bad joke. Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Relax, people. We're already. Jason, Eddie, Physical Media Talk, great guy. Asked, what kind of stereo gear do you have? I'm assuming he wants names. Maybe I missed that.
Yeah. So Eddie, I have two Technics 1200s. I have a Rane 68 mixer. I have two Ortophone 2M Black, right, with the Shibata needle, right? So it's as much as you can get into the grooves to compare the records, And I have like two Yamaha HSM 80s, like powered speakers. I don't have an amplifier, man. I just have two powered, speakers, and that's how I listen to the music.
Yeah, again, I've seen it firsthand. So, I mean, I don't expect Jason and I to agree on every type of thing, but I do think his method is very good. And I'm not say other people don't have good methods. I just have seen Jason's firsthand. And so it's a voice I can trust, not to say I don't trust other people's opinions. It's nothing like, no, I'm being serious, because I know, like, again, we're in this tribalism thing that, people think that constructive feedback is, and their own personal feedback is a shot, and sometimes it's not. More often than not, it's not, right?
Well, like I said, if you're ever in Austin, just, message me on Instagram and we'll meet up and you can hear it for yourself. There's no reason to be in the dark or trust this thing. You can come over and we'll have a good time.
Shout out to Malaya. Malaya has entered the danger zone of the Surface Noise presentation. So it's good to see her.
I've not seen her in a long time. Wow.
Listen, either she's extremely bored, there's a cable outage, or she's here to support what some call the broadcast for the people. I don't know who those people are, but this is the broadcast for the people.
The down and outers, the lonely people.
That's right. All right, so let's wind the table back. Let's go Arnaldo. I'm ready. I think everyone else is ready. Tell us, what is the worst reissue you've bought lately? Wow. Okay. So tell us.
The REM Reveal, and I have the original that came out back in, was it 2002? And I hadn't heard it for a while, so then I played this first, and it sounded okay. Then I played it again, and I realized that I wasn't hearing things that I remembered, and so I pulled out my old copy, and I started to A/B it, and I was like, wow, the bass on here is a little exaggerated. It kind of drowns out, some other elements that I noticed on the original, and it just sounds a little bloated, almost like someone. When I don't have any type of tone controls on my amplifier. It's almost like when you turn the knobs, and because you like more bass or more treble. That's what it sounded like to me. But also, I think the voice seemed to have a different placement on the reissue, a little bit more up front compared to the original. It could be an interpretation. Whoever cut it or mastered it or remastered it may have put their own spin to it. But I personally was disappointed. And I got some of the other reissues that came out. They all came out last year, around the summer and fall. And I kind of compared them all to my originals. And I don't think any of them succeeded in besting, or at least in my opinion, I still preferred my original copies, except for one, which I don't have an original of, which is the only REM of the later years, Around the Sun. That sounded good to me, but because I'm only comparing it to a CD, so which one is the worst REM album? This one?
I think Ariel is that one, yeah.
No. If there is a worst, it is probably Around the Sun. Definitely not this one.
Okay, fair.
Sorry, I beg to differ on that. So, yeah, this was a disappointment. Eventually, they'll be put on Discogs because I'm just saving them for a video that I was planning on doing for quite some time for all the REM reissues, and I've never gotten around to.
So there's a new channel in the vinyl community. I want to give them a quick rub. This is Norman Meslov. I'm not sure what country Norman come from, but they're commenting. I thought Up sounded pretty good. Arnaldo,
well, I have Up, and I compared it to my original. I prefer the original. Sorry.
I like it. See, look, we can listen. This is a good refresher for the world that despite our differences, we can agree to disagree and not hate the other person. So I hope our allies and our non-allies are taking a microscopic view of what's happening here, because we can do it. It's like Rocky at the end of Rocky IV. No one knows that reference. All right, we'll just go ahead.
That's waiting. Adrian? Oh, that was the first one.
Oh, no. That's where Rocky gives like this very heroic, like he's in Russia.
Oh,
Soviet Russia, and of course he beats Drago, and he gives a speech that's supposed to unite. It's kind of like Bill and Ted. It saves the world, the one side.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. All right, John, the mic is hot, seat is warm. Tell us, what is the worst reissue that you've purchased of late?
Well, I usually get rid of them pretty quick, so I had to really think. And the only reason I held on to this is because it's the only copy I have, but everybody knows the issues with it.
Tell us what it is, John.
It just snap, crackle, pop all the way through. That freaking great beginning is just full of noise. That you're waiting for those silent moments where the guitar comes in and then you crack, pop, pop, crack, crack.
So the album John's talking about is the famous Maggot Brain by Funkadelic.
And I've heard in different stories, like the original tapes are gone. We're never going to get a good copy of it. But why does it have to be so bad? Why so many snap, crackle, pops? Is it the wrong company getting hold of it, or what's happening? I don't know.
So, John, I'm going to ask you a question. On the back of that, does it say 4 men with beards?
No.
Okay, because that one
is the worst. I don't even know who these guys are. Westbound.
Well, no. So Westbound's the original, but I know for a while 4 Men with Beards was reissuing it, and it sounded like buttholes. I mean, it literally sounded like if buttholes could sing. So it's terrible.
Yeah, it's. I think past the snap, crackle, pops, it's okay. But you can't get past them, and so that it drives me crazy. But it's the only copy I have. So I deal with it. I have other ones I've had issues with. That's the Muddy Waters.
Let's not talk about that. That Muddy Waters is a disaster.
I still have one unopened over there. I'm just daring myself to open it. I put enough juju on it to go. No seam splits, no pops, no wanky records. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, that's a great segue because we're going to talk about that. We may have to cut up the show because we're running a little long, but I would love to hear your thoughts on those one steps and just how terrible the packaging is. Let's put that in our pocket, John, because I know you firsthand. You've wrestled with that dragon.
I felt it.
All right. Well, to put a bow on this topic, I'll go kind of quick. And I'm surprised. I thought Jason was going to. Jason, be honest, maybe this was going to be your number one until this Black Sabbath situation. But bar none, the worst reissue that I've picked up in some time is Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies, which I have an original from back in the day. This was very nice. It's very cute. This is the tricolor that was through. It was e-com only through their website. I didn't get in there to snag one of those ones that have flies literally embedded in the wax, which I thought was actually pretty neat. But I think they only made a small version of that. But this sounds like, I mean, this is a joke. And I know there's some people who have given it like positive reviews. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm just going to take you to the carpet because this sound. I mean, no, this is like friends don't let friends give each other this record. It should have been done much, much better. Because, and I say that because when they did the Dirt reissue not too long ago, not bad. It was pretty good. Like it's what fans of this band who have been looking for these reissues for years. Dirt was what we have been looking for. This, if you're desperate, if you are starving of hunger, you'll eat a shit sandwich. This is the shit sandwich that the label gave us, and it's not good. So I hate to be that way, but it's not good. So,
did you say it's the best of the worst reissue?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't even. Well, I wouldn't even use my cute language like that because I do not recommend wasting any money on this. Now, I will say for $20, you get what you pay for in a lot of ways. That's why we kind of said best reissues earlier for $20. You can get this for about $20. Save your money. Not worth it. Sorry, I know that's controversial, but what am I going to do?
Yeah, I wonder if it's part of because you know the album so well. Because I mean, I have a copy. I don't even know where I got mine from.
Sure.
I have to look at it, and I was fine with it. But you might know it better. Like you might catch. Like Arnaldo kind of caught things with the REM thing, saying something's not right here. So I wonder if it's the trained ear. If you're more familiar with it.
No, listen. I would never I would very rarely say that I have a great system. Like my system's vintage Marantz. Solid. It's good for me. Like Jason and I have talked about this. Like it's good. It's good for me. Mm-hmm. Could it be better? Of course. I'm sure there's ways that you can really bring things out of this. I can just tell you, like the first thing that turns me off on any record is if I automatically, because I keep my volume at a consistent level, and if I automatically have to turn it up, it's already like okay. And then even when you do turn it up, then there's no real. I don't know.
So overall, okay.
And in fairness, maybe I probably was expecting more. Maybe that's just what it is, kind of deal.
And you're disappointed with something we're really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like even though I have an original, like originals are very expensive. Let's be honest, I got it before it got super crazy, but yeah, I mean, the band deserves better. Let's just put it that way. It reminded me kind of when I was talking about those STP earlier versions of Core. It was like that. It's like okay, cute. It's on vinyl, man. A little bit more extra mustard on the hot dog really would have went a long way on this. So
I'm just curious to hear the opinions of people that got the ones with the fly in it.
Well,
I wonder how that sounds.
That's true. I'd be very curious. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do some homework. That's a great idea. Maybe the Discogs will have some interesting reviews because it looks cool. I mean, it's Jose. He's not here, but he's turned me on to that label. Like I follow him on Instagram. They do some really neat applications, but yeah, to your point, Arnaldo, it probably sounds like questionable, but maybe not. Maybe because it's clear, and then it's got the faux flies. Hopefully PETA is not involved because PETA would probably
animal cruelty.
Exactly. Yeah.
Flies for a record.
Say it ain't so. All right. Well, let's take a poll. We'll run long to get our third and final topic, and normally we do like the first hour for the pod. We'll go a little bit longer. Because we do want to get this third topic in. That way we don't cut it off. So let's just get into it. And this is kind of what I was teasing. Michael Tedder, I hope you're still in there. I hope you are ready because we're going to talk reissue labels. It's supposed to be a good segue in terms of what we were talking about earlier into this reissue. And Jason talked about it with that Rhino High Fidelity. But before we do that, I do want to say, so Groovy Lisa said she got the Keen Hope and Fears in the mail. I hope it's a good one for you. Thanks for showing up. Good to see you. Now, third topic, bing, bong, boom, reissue labels. So I'm going to be, let's just go, we'll go quick and we'll start at the levels. And I just said the levels, top tier, mid tier, or bring you to tears. And I don't have a cute board like Spins Vinyl did a nice job. He had this ranking thing. And I'm going to have to share best practice. He's going to have to teach me. He's going to have to teach me the old how to do that, because my son does something similar. He does these ranking things too. So I thought it was a good idea. But I'm old. We're just going to talk about the old school way. So let's just go around the horn. John, I'll start with you. Is there a reissue label that you would consider best in class?
Yeah, and it's probably my weakest area because I really don't pay attention to labels. But since there are some that stick out,
Sure.
So we're just going to do our first one, our top one first. Is that how we're doing it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to show, yeah. This is more just like a freestyle kind of presentation piece.
Well, I can do it. I mean, my top and middle there's not really a middle ground for me.
Okay, so what is the top tier reissue label to you?
Blue Note. I love Blue Note.
Okay, interesting. All right.
And all these jazz albums I'm getting, Blue Note, especially the Tone Poet series, I've never, ever had an issue with these things. So all these jazz albums, we got to represent the jazz a little bit. So
Fair enough. Okay.
Especially that Lou Donaldson. So yeah, Blue Note sticks out for me. And then if there was a middle, which Blue Note's my top, I guess you would say. So if there has to be a middle, it'd be the Music on Vinyl.
Okay.
I like these guys. I haven't had an issue with any album that I've purchased from these guys with their reissues. Yeah, it's the same thing, just different kind of thing. And then the worst would be whoever the hell put this thing together. Whoever this
back to the maggot brain. Okay.
It's the worst one. So that's the one that came to mind. So
that's the one that brings you to tears, John. Is that fair to say?
I cry when this comes on, and not in a good way.
Oh no! I wish I had a spare. I used to have a spare of an OG. It had a lot of crackle to it, but it was a good starter copy. But I got off of it a while ago. But even with the crackling, you can still hear that Eddie Hazel, and the Eddie Hazel will bring you to tears in a good way, because it is amazing on that, especially the title track.
That Attila or that Hassels that you sent me is in better condition than this freaking thing. I'm telling you right now.
I knew you'd find a way to throw in some more Billy Joel. I just knew it. I mean, you just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah, come on. That's what we do.
All right, Arnaldo, give us the top tier, mid tier, and brings you to tears of reissue.
Well, I don't have the show and tell.
No, that's okay. No show and tell.
So I think I have to give it to Chad. I mean, the quality control usually is top notch with Analog Productions or acoustic. Let's call it Analog Productions. The presentation of the jackets, what he's doing with the Atlantic 75. Maybe the choice of titles could be improved upon, but I think there is some form of redemption with the Atlantic 75 in now doing 90s rock, doing 70s rock, a little bit of everything. So I think Analog Productions, acoustic sounds, they get the number one for me in terms of reissue labels.
And this is despite the questionable website.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you got Rhino, which is a major.
Acoustic Sound is loving this Rhino situation because it's making them it makes their shit smell very sweet right now. Actually, hang on. I think somebody's trying to order
mail.
Oh, somebody's trying to order from the Acoustic Sound website right now. Hang on. That's an order going through, guys. All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
If I was lucky enough to get the Exodus Bob Marley, I don't know how I got it with that website crashing and orders freezing up. I enjoyed it afterwards. It's a stellar release. Yes, they do press some records that maybe because of, I don't know, various reasons. Like Chad says, it's not difficult to press a good record. It's difficult to make them all good. And I think everyone has gotten a record from Analog Productions that they needed a replacement for, right? And there's never a problem, never an issue with that.
Shout out to Bud.
Then I would say Blue Note, but for a while, I think it was in 2021 or beginning of 2022, I was getting a lot of those Blue Note classic series that were either warped, off center, Optimal kind of dropped the ball at a certain point on some of their pressings, but they're a solid label. I'd have to say I enjoy those. as well as the craft ones. The craft reissues also are excellent.
Yeah.
Especially, all the OJCs are really well done in terms of the jacket, in terms of the mastering. I'm really becoming a fan also of the craft reissues.
Nice. Yeah, good call. Good call. And bring you to tears, Arnaldo.
Well,
or bring you to panic, or bring you to deep sigh.
Yeah, the deep sigh. I think four bed with beards, they're out of business, right? Okay.
Oh, man.
I can make that sound with my armpit, but that's what I would give the 4 men with beards. It's terrible.
I don't know. I mean, the ones that bring me to tears, I don't know. I mean, none of, even the better ones, they still every now and then have a lemon, right?
Of course.
It all comes down to if they take care of you afterwards, the customer service.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't want to call any one specific one out.
Oh man, come on! This is a controversy here.
I know Jason's got a good one.
Jason's ready. That's why I'm rounding home with him, because I know he's ready. So,
and don't do Dylan with Noble Records. All right, he's a small deal. All right.
Hang on, Hulk Hogan. Hang on, we got Hulk Hogan on line one. Arnaldo, Hulk Hogan wants to say something to you.
What are you, chicken?
Got nothing, Arnaldo?
No, seriously. All right, go ahead, Jason. You go first. I'll think about it some more.
Jason, give us your top tier, your mid tier, and bring you to tears. It's okay. Grown men can cry. It's all right. I know several in the violent community cry every day.
Oh, no. So I'm very proud of this reissue label that has been releasing reissues since the late 90s, early 2000s. So big shout out to Numero, who did their Margot Guerin Words and Music, box set here. Again, it included that rare album of hers from '68, Take a Picture. Well done. Like, this is a well done reissue. This is the box, her beautiful face on it. It included the booklet. Whoa, the record almost slipped out of my hand. Here's a quality booklet, And again, you get the history. So let me back up here. Who she is some singer-songwriter. It kind of like very pop, but a bit advanced, because she was a jazz piano player. I played the whole box set during my live stream on this past Sunday, and it was just amazing, And you can get this for like 3 LPs for $70, And the cool thing about it too is that it comes on this great yellow with a green
cool.
swirl.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So, I see Tom saying,
hang on. Yeah, Tom's coming in. And remember, Tom is the Mr. Morton's, because he comes in salty sometimes. And he says, Numero, who presses at United, so that's in Nashville. You're taking the piss? I don't know what that means. Can you decide what that means?
I think he's clear. I think Tom is clear. But actually, Tom, nothing wrong with the LP. Sounded great, because her record, Take a Picture from '68, that thing is selling for over 1,000.
Oh,
there's no need to get it. I mean, of course I would want it, but I mean that even I have a threshold.
Fair enough. All right, next up, Jason. Is this the mid tier? Oh, nice.
The mid tier, really?
Well, I mean, if you want to go there, if you just want to do absolutes and go, top and bottom, feel free.
Yeah, middle is
Yeah, middle. There's no sex appeal to the middle. Let's be honest, but
maybe Mo-Fi is a good middle.
No.
No. I think John is right. Maybe I would say Mo-Fi is mid.
It's a box of chocolates.
Yeah, but they don't always hit it off the park.
Fair. That's
but
fair. Like that.
Their
Waters over there. Yeah, that.
But John, their customer service has always been legit with me.
Agreed. I agree with that too.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
And they've gotten back to me. They sent me replacements. They even have a threshold too. I discovered what that is.
Oh, define. What do you mean by threshold, Jason?
Well, I had some non-fill with my Yaz. What's the album?
Upstairs at Eric's.
Yep, Upstairs at Eric's. I think that came out in 80 or 81 or 82. I think. But I had the non-fill. I sent them the video, and they sent me another copy. The other copy is bad, and then I sent them another video. And I think the third time was when they said no, But I mean, they refunded me, but then I was left with a bad record. There's nothing I could do.
That's not cool.
Yeah. But I mean, again, that's mid-tier. I give them, A for the effort at least.
Yeah. All right, they get a participation trophy or a ribbon.
Oh,
we don't get trophies anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now this is the one. This is the one. Literally, the 70 people still with us on the edge of their seat. What is the one that brings you to tears, Jason? The Reissue label. That it's just sucks.
Sucks bad.
I think sucks is just sucks. It's very absolute.
But I mean, when you're saying suck, am I judging it by the quality or the sound of the records? Or
the criteria to you in terms of like if you hear this name, you're like you automatically think,
cringy.
No bueno.
Oh man.
Wow.
You know what?
You have something, yeah.
I'm a bit stumped on it because I'm not buying too many more reissues, and I'm better for it. My bank account is happier. I'm, man, I got.
Well, Jason thinks about it. I just I think
Arnaldo's ready for controversy. Arnaldo, please save us. We need to start naming names, please.
Third man.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
I just hope that they don't announce something that I want.
Really want, yes.
That is being reissued by Third Man.
We're pouring one out right now for the hardworking folks of Third Man. I'm sure they work hard over there, but boy, they've given me more heartburn.
Don't get me wrong. The Jack White records, I think they pay extra attention when they make those.
Yeah, never have this problem.
I've never had a problem with a Jack White release.
So true.
It's all the reissues that I don't think they just put enough. I don't know. Maybe it's the pressing plant that they're sending them to. I really don't.
They do them in house, right?
Yeah, but I mean, don't they have? Do they do them all in Detroit, or are they still doing some at URP?
That's a good question.
They do that little booth that Neil Young played in.
Well, that would make a lot of sense if they're really pressing in volume out of that little record booth. That would explain it.
Squeezes in and plays their songs.
No, I'm with you. That makes sense. Yeah, actually. Well, Jason, do you want to go?
I got it. I got it.
I knew you could rise to the occasion.
So this is the label I do not like. It is the Demon,
Oh, man, they're not that bad. Come on.
Because when I listened to this, I don't know. I was like, oh, no, like comparing it to my original.
Okay, because you have the original. Thanks.
Yes. So, Arnaldo, when you're ever here, we'll listen to this one. We'll compare it, But I just think it's sketchy, no information about, if this is digital or analog or whatever.
Does it matter? How does it sound? If you're telling me that the original sounds better and you like the original, then case closed. But does it matter? As long as it or you like it, as long as it sounds good to you, does it matter if it's digital or if it was from a tape?
No, it doesn't matter. But I think to me, like it sounded okay,
Jason, we have the president of Demon Records on line one. Hang on, caller. What do you think of this scathing takedown?
Asshole.
Hang on, we didn't get that.
Asshole.
Okay, listen. This is a family show. We can't.
Come on,
sorry, I'm sorry about that.
Well, I try to avoid it, but I mean, when this came out, like I wanted to get it because like I was curious, and I don't know if we compared this. Did we, Chance? You and Jose?
No, we didn't. That didn't make the cut. Jose was so eager to listen to so many other things. Yeah, that one didn't make the cut. All right. Well,
sorry, Arnaldo. I went there.
No, it's okay because I do have some reissues by Demon, and they're okay. I don't have any issues with them.
Fair enough.
Concert Buddie, can you highlight Cesar's recent comment?
Oh, and it says, "Oh no, Jason, no more free records for you."
That's right. No more Demon promo records coming my way.
Caesar, you know where it hit, Jason, right where it hurt. And that's below the belt. I got to be honest with you. It's not as below the belt as some of the commentary we're getting today. It's for some new friends. I'm getting a lot of fun stuff.
Wow.
So I wonder who that could be. I'm so mysterious. But anyway, let's keep moving forward. All right. So I've seen a couple come up in the comments. A couple of shout outs. So Jackpot Records does. Jason, would you? Yeah, hit or miss, right? I mean, they do some good.
I like the meter records that they put out, the meters, and comparing a $25 record to a $250 one, I'll go for the $25 one.
All day, every day, my friend.
If it gets me 90% there, right?
So Michael Tedder's coming in hot. He says the worst for me is Friday music. I didn't even have Friday on my short list. That's how bad they are. Didn't even make the grade. But no, for me, to kind of put a bow on this, and if anybody in the comments tell us what are your thoughts on this topic. We couldn't go a full segment, and Tom will like this. Vinyl Me Please, because we are a Vinyl Me Please forward channel. A lot of our content lately, and Tom has let me know that we're shilling for Vinyl Me Please. No, but I think in terms of reissue label, a lot of the similar themes we've been talking about. When they do it good, it's good, and when they don't, man, it's sad. And those mailers, don't even get me started on the mailers. Light in the Attic. Mazzy, I'm surprised you didn't come with Lita. I think they are one of your favorites. So Lita, yeah. See, Tom can take a joke. This is all it's about. It's a joke. Third Man was on my list in terms of the because actually I need to stick to the so top tier. I'm going to go Acoustic Sounds because again, despite their 1991 website, they do really nice work. I do think sometimes they probably rush to produce volume and QC can kind of, but like Arnaldo said, like they'll make it right. And that's to me a good staple of a good reissue label is admitting.
Because Bud was very friendly.
Bud is a handsome man. I don't know what he looks like, but I can tell just from the emails he's a handsome man. So I'd go Acoustic Sounds as top tier for me. Mid tier, and this isn't a shot. This is just I don't buy a lot from them. Is Permanent Records. Lance, he has that label Writing Easy. They do a lot of obscure kind of like gosh, how would you describe it? Like that 70s fuzz rock, like some would call it stoner rock. He did the oh gosh, what's that series? I'm blanking. I know I just bought
Brown Acid.
Brown Acid. Yeah, the Brown Acid series is really cool and really well done, especially the way it's curated. Again, it's not my go-to, but it's been a good entry point for me to that kind of music. There's an art. They just did an album for a band called Backjack, which is actually local to me. I had no idea. It's kind of where I grew up back in the day. And so I've been really listening to a lot. And actually, I was at one of my locals and they actually have distribution there because I ordered it from the site. I haven't gotten it yet. I streamed it first. And there it was on my locals. So I was like, wow, good for you, Lance. So yeah, I'd put them in that mid tier. I see we've got some other ones. We'll get to it in a second. When it comes to the bottom, gosh, and this is hard because I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just saying there are others who do it better and do it better easily. Real Gone Music, I have a love-hate relationship with because I love some of the titles they put out, but I hate the way that they put them out. They're not good. So I put Real Gone Music in that kind of bring me to tears because it's right there from a like things I'm looking to listen to on vinyl that haven't been pressed they just kind of. I believe that the expression is screw the pooch. I think is the expression. It's French. It means very bad. And so I would say that. But let's wind it down after you've heard my nonsense with a couple other recommendations from the gallery. So we've got, let's see, Richard S. says he passes on all the DOL jazz reissues. I've heard that. I think that is not a uncommon sentiment. John Moreno, coming up, he's got Scorpio Records with a double, not a single, double thumbs down. Coal Mine, yeah, Coal Mine's good, but I think Coal Mine puts out a lot of first issue stuff, don't they? I don't know how much reissue they do. I know like Alex Beer and Vinyl loves those guys, and it's Plaid Room's kind of side deal.
Yeah, they're a good company, but I don't think they do reissue.
Yeah, I don't know if they do reissue. I mean, they may. I mean, again, a lot of
good funk kind of sounding, like 70s kind of sound.
Yeah. Nick Fantasy says Run Out Groove. Yeah, when they've done some good stuff. They aren't they the one that used to crowdsource and they give you like a poll. They give you like 3 titles. And
They did a poll. They haven't done that in years. So.
Right. I thought that was great.
The Marvin Gaye was excellent. The Monkees records were excellent, both of them. And I think they also did. Didn't they do a Randy Newman? I missed that one. I think they did an old Randy Newman album.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm not seeing any other names. I think I had a couple other ones. Warp. I'm not familiar. You guys know Warp? Sean, the Vinyl Dreams. It comes out of that one.
Yep. They do a lot of like indie rock and some experimental. Okay. I know that they reissued the Broadcast albums, which are one of my favorite bands from the late 90s, early 2000s. Those are great.
Yeah, Elemental was one I had on my list. I didn't have it at the bottom. It's kind of more of that mid kind of thing. So Kendall brings up Elemental. That's fair. Shane Rocky says Soul Step Records is pretty great and very quick with shipping. Hey, I like that. I like to hear that. Appreciate that.
I misspoke on the Run Out Groove. It wasn't the Marvin Gaye. It was the Superfly that they did.
Oh, Mayfield, Chris Mayfield. Okay, fair enough. My favorite name in the vinyl community, Depeche Commode, says in the metal space, Shadow Kingdom does some great reissues. Okay. That'd probably be like something you're either really good or really bad at, because if you're like a label like that has a focus, I mean, you've really got to be good at it. So hopefully those guys come correct every time. Impex, that's a name I hadn't heard for a minute. The Impex, the ones I have, like I have a Kenny Dorman Impex, it's pretty good. So we'll see.
We forgot. No one mentioned Intervention.
Oh yeah, Mazzy. Those are your friends. Mazzy, Intervention. I think there's not a week that goes by that Mazzy doesn't talk about Intervention. So Mazzy, come on now. Sadness. All right. Well, guys, we beat these topics to death. So let's round out the podcast presentation, and we'll get into the freestyle. So don't go anywhere. I know there's a lot of competing live streams. We used to have dominion over this space, at least this time slot, and then sometimes there would be some other shows after. But I know this is a very crowded space, so I appreciate everybody who's tuned in at this time, and I hope you stick with us for the freestyle. But let's thank my guests again. Surface Noise is nothing without the guests and without the gallery. So I would be no one if not for my guests, and my guests tonight included the early bird himself, Arnaldo. The channel is Fidelios Frequency. Arnaldo, appreciate you joining us, sir.
Oh, thanks for having me, Concert Buddie.
And then the one, the only, some would say the most controversial member of the vinyl community. I don't know if you'd say that. There it is. He took a Cleveland steamer, I think is the expression, on this Black Sabbath reissue, and that's the one, the only. Jason Roxas, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Concert Buddie. Just by the way, the Sabbath Rhino reissue, I'm just going to change my mind, I think it's great for 125, so I'm going to pump this up. Okay? Pump it up.
He's come around, folks.
Jason, give us a link for your Discog store, please, so we can make sure that we make the transaction clean. And and then, well on his way to the Five Timers Club, now in the lead, pole position. So we're putting you on notice, Rob from Northern Revolutions. You Canuck. It's John. Yeah. The name is John. The channel is Music Talk with John. Yes. He also has another channel. We didn't talk about Strange Brew Reactions, where you talk about movies, John. I mean, you've got quite the stable of channel.
I can't make up my mind. It's just you don't want to be up here in this area.
Well, John, I appreciate you showing up, and it's always great to have you on the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And that was another trip around the turntable. Thanks for listening to Vinyl Community Podcasts.